Konnichiwa, Minasan. Welcome to another episode of Backlog Brain Rot. And as you can see us now. We decided we're going to start doing some video for at least some of the episodes. And this was a special one, so we definitely had to do it for this one. But joining me always is my co-host Parrot.
Hello, hello.
And Sean.
Hey! So happy to be here on video. Show off some of our nice, my DK tie right here, and my Yoshi shirt.
Very nice. Fancy.
Yeah.
Where do you get that DK tie? How do you wear that?
I
Like,
don't know. My
to work
mom
every day?
randomly got it. My mom randomly got it for me, and I do wear it to work. I do. And it's pretty cool. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, Donkey Kong!" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm a pretty cool teacher."
Do you also wear no shirt? Like, is that just your shirt when you go to?
Yeah, I
Work?
wear no shirt that day too.
Dressed
I'm
like
like,
DK.
yeah. It's a dress like DK day.
All right, so yeah, we're changing it up a little bit this episode. So obviously we're kind of combining this time and doing our July recap. We're just doing a couple games each and then going right into a long talk about DK Bonanza because we all three played that one, and I basically just wanted to talk about that anyway because I played some other stuff, but my main monthly gaming was DK Bonanza. So
Yeah, I mean that was like 40 hours of my gaming. Pretty
right?
much.
It was a beefy 3D platformer, so
With
right.
a compelling story, surprisingly.
Probably one of Nintendo's like best platforming stories for sure. Like I think it's like it crushes Mario Odyssey in that regard, but we can get
What
into
about
that.
Yoshi's Woolly World? Come on.
I've never played that one, so
Yeah, you're not missing much.
all right, Parrot, why don't you kick us off with your first game?
All right. Well, my first game is a game I played basically just for our friend Sean here, and that's Golden Sun.
Yes.
So as you all know, I've been just diving into the Nintendo backlog this year. I looked, and I think I've probably played at least like 20 or 30 Nintendo games I had never played before. And I'm whittling it down. Like my list is down to like 15 basically left just to play. So I'm getting towards the end of my I'm not trying to play every Nintendo game, just every game that's not horrible. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I
I'm
got a
getting there.
list of NES games for you to
Yeah, no,
play.
I'm good. I'm good. The one of my 15 is Other M, which is not good, but I feel like I have to. But anyways, Golden Sun, I feel like I have almost no memory of this ever existing as a kid. Like I probably saw ads for it in Game Informer, but nothing else. So Sean's been raving about it, so I booted it up. And at first, I honestly wasn't really sure how I felt about it. I feel like the learning curve for the combat, at least for me, maybe I just don't play enough RPGs, was just like really. It's very odd combat. I don't know what you think about that, Sean, but it took me a while to understand how it all functioned together. Where you get the Jin, and then like they connect to your character, which gives them boosted stats. But then they also give you a move that like you can use since they're attuned to you. And then once you use that move, they become unattuned to you, which then powers up a summon move that you can then use. And then based on how many Jin of the same type are not attuned to you at that moment, like the summon gets stronger. So it kind of makes sense, but it took me a really long time to figure out what I was actually doing and who should be like attuned to what.
See, it's funny that you say that it's like so different. That's what like appealed to me so much when I was younger because I was so used to playing just these, copy. Like I love them, but the copy and paste combat of the so many different JRPGs that this was so different to me that instantly I like fell in love with them. Like this is like I've never played anything like this, so I loved it. But I understand where you're coming from. It is a little complicated.
Yeah, and it probably took me like 2 or 3 hours to like even understand like what I was doing with the combat. But once I did, that was definitely the high mark of the game for me. And then I like how you learn in this game magic is called synergy, and you lose the synergy powers, and you can use them outside of combat to solve puzzles. So it actually made dungeons instead of just being like the generic RPG dungeons, like where it's just like, oh, you fight a lot of enemies and then you fight a boss. Like it's the same, but you also have to solve puzzles. So it's almost like it's not quite Zelda, but it is, has some sort of puzzle solving element, which I liked. And then story wise, well, I guess we'll disagree on that. It did nothing for me at all, so I really have nothing to say about it. It was just like generic JRPG story. Your character doesn't talk. All your party members just are obsessed with you, and then you just go around to different towns solving troubles that have nothing really to do with anything. And then, I mean, this game, I wouldn't even say it ends on a cliffhanger. I would just say it ends. It clearly does. The second part was clearly supposed to be the same game because it didn't even have an ending. So, but it's
Well,
fine.
I will say this: the story in the second one is much better. It is much better. I think they
Okay.
definitely learned from. I'll give you that the story in the first one is a little shallow. It's not. I don't think that's gonna drag drag the hooks in people. But as
No.
someone who loves JRPGs and someone who loves the Golden Sun games, like I really like the story a lot. And I think if you I've replayed it multiple times. I think on replays I get more out of it each time with the story. I kind of appreciate it a little bit more.
Is this a shorter RPG, like 15, 20 hours ish, or
It took me
Yeah.
25.
Yeah,
So
it's
okay?
around like 20 to 30 depending.
yeah,
Full completionist run, you can do it in like it's like 40.
yeah. And
Yes,
then
it's
like
not bad.
the one complaint I would have other than the story, which I didn't think the story was bad. I just think it's basically non-existent in most of the points. But I do think the game is like very obtuse. I would have no idea where to go a lot of the time. I ended up finding a PDF scan of the Prima guide from back in the day, and I was just like looking at that. So it was actually kind of fun. It reminded me like I played Earthbound for the first time, and I played with the guide that it came with, just because I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. That's like how people would have played back then. So I didn't mind looking at the guide, but it was definitely like there's some parts I'm like I would have never figured out what I was supposed to be doing.
I own that guide as a kid.
It's cool, and it also shows how it clearly was supposed to be one game because the guide covers both games.
Right.
Yep.
Just like Trails in the Sky, first and second chapter.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
but
want to
I would
get to it at
recommend it.
yeah, I want to get to it at one point, but I'm trying to work through NES games right now, so GBA will be coming.
The second one, do you have plans to play it soon?
I think I am going to. I started the Metroid 2 Game Boy remake, and then
Ooh,
after I finish that, I'm gonna play Golden Sun 2. I think I've already like typed in the code. Like it's kind of cool that you can transfer your save from one game to the other, but unless you have two consoles with a link cable, you have to put it in manually with a
yeah.
code, and it's like 250 characters. I'm like, oh my god.
The You'll see how linked they are. They are very linked.
Yeah,
The
that's
games.
cool. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to play it sometime this month. Get at least get it started.
I always preferred the second one over the first one. But honestly, yeah,
I think I saw the second one introduces fast travel, which I think would also be really nice.
yes, it does.
All right, Sean, why don't you get into your first game?
All right, so I played through Suikoden 1 and 2. So specifically, I'm going to talk about 2 right here. I love these games. I played the HD version. I played them on Switch. Super fun games. So many different characters. There's 108 characters to get. I 100%ed both of them. But like I said, I'm going to focus more on Suikoden 2. Suikoden 2, you can definitely see Suikoden 1 was like their first step into the genre, where Suikoden 2 kind of really expands on it. They add much more story to the game, and they make the characters actually worth talking to. And there's a lot more side content. You can go on side quests for certain characters and learn more about their backstory. It's not required, and obviously you don't have to recruit all 108 characters. If you want to, you can, and I actually like doing that. It's a lot of fun because there's so many different combinations of characters you can use in battle, and your party system's 6 different people, so it's like really cool. So there's so much variety in combat. With that said, obviously you have to always bring like the main protagonist, and there's always like 2 or 3 that are like you have to bring like 2 or 3. So you cannot really on like certain missions you really only get a choice of like 3 different characters. But overall, the game's really fun. It is a continuation of the first game. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It brought me back to when I first played it back in like the early 2000s. I remember we had them on PS1, and I'm a huge Suikoden fan. I'm a weird Suikoden fan though, that I prefer the PS2 versions over the PS1 versions, which is very odd in the Suikoden fandom because everyone says 2 is like the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Where I actually think Suikoden 5 is the best one, which is the last one they made, which is like totally like everyone's like, that game's terrible. It's a lot of fun though. The writing is really interesting. The combat's great. The weapon system is really it's funny. You were talking about how Golden Sun is so complicated with like the combat and like learning moves, and this is so much easier. It's like every character has their own weapon, and like you don't have to swap out weapons or anything, and you can just like equip like different things to them to make them stronger, and you can de-equip them and then re-equip things. You can like change out what they equip with. Very standard like invent inventory system where like you can equip like, oh, you here's your metal chest plate and this will increase your defense, or this will let you attack twice. It's very simple stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy them. I highly suggest them. They're not long games either. If you just want to mainline them, they're like both of them are like 15 hours, not even. I 100% of the first one in 15 hours, but again, I played it so many times where I can do that really easily. The second one took me about 21 hours to 100% because I'm not as familiar with the second one because I played the first one a lot more. But yeah, both of them great games. Highly suggest playing them. Switch games, it's awesome. I played in handheld mode a lot actually, which I don't do. So
Yeah, I started the first one. It didn't really grab me at first, but I want to go back and play them again. I'll probably wait till they're on sale on Switch 2 because the Switch 2 version is key card, so I'll probably just get it digital when it goes on sale.
mhm.
But the only thing I've heard though is that, at least with the second one, maybe this is the first one too, that you kind of want to use a guide if you want the true ending because you need to recruit a certain amount of people, and some of the events are like really hard to get if you don't know.
I'm trying to think because I just know them from like because I when I was a kid, I took me I think a year and a half to 100% it. I would just routinely go back to the first one. Like I didn't
Yeah,
look anything up. It's not as difficult. You just have to if you talk to everyone, you can kind of figure it out on your own. But like if
right.
you don't want to talk to every NPC, because there's a lot of like random NPCs that like don't do anything. Like you're just like, hey.
I've
So
also
like
heard the villain in Suikoden 2 is like really good, like one of the best
yes,
villains.
the villain is also, and I'm not gonna reveal the villain in Suikoden 2 because it kind of I'll just say it's a little bit of a plot twist. So
Right. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I also just realized I'm the only one who didn't even play an RPG this month. You guys both played one. I'm slacking here.
get out of here.
I
Wow.
mean, some
Who
people
would have
would say
guessed that?
Like a Dragon is, but I don't count those unless it's 7 and 8, but
I will say one more thing about this weekend in series 1 and 2. The villain cast, like you had brought up, the is awesome, and some of the villains end up becoming recruitable, and you can actually recruit them to join you. You have like a choice. You can like kill them, or you can be like recruit them. You can be like show mercy or anything. I always show mercy because again, you want to get everyone, but those are the characters that you can still get the true ending without recruiting them
okay. That's funny.
because it's like
Unicorn Overlord does the same thing. You can either kill them or recruit them when you beat certain characters. All right. Well, I can get into my next one, which is Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I don't think either of you care that much about it. Number one. And number two, it's just a spin off game. So, unless you really love the Yakuza series, I don't think you should even try to play this. But the weakest part of it's definitely the story because, again, it's a side game. So, nothing really happens that's that important. But I will say it's fun. It goes back to the traditional beat 'em up combat style rather than turn based, which the last couple have used. But the pirate ship combat's kind of cool. Like you sail around. I've heard it's similar to Ease 10, which I haven't played yet, but
it's a good game.
people like that. And then, yeah, it was, I think it took me, I don't know, 24 hours or so, but it was fun. But this would probably be one of those that I don't know if I'd go back to it ever again unless I just want to play some fun beat 'em up. But the other Yakuza games just offer a lot more impact because they actually have story stuff.
Do-
I cannot believe how fast they bang out these Yakuza games.
They're faster than Falcom, which I like that Falcom is now stepping back. They're trying to slow down to do games rather than every year where yeah, RGG's just like let's pump them out.
It's too much. You know, I joke about it, but it is I am kind of serious, and I just feel like I am just done with it at this point because I really loved them, but it's like, oh my god, I don't love them enough to play this many of them. Like I took like a year off, and I'm already two behind.
I know.
I've only played Yakuza 0, and I really have no interest in playing the other ones.
I
That
I
does
don't
hurt
know.
me a
I
bit,
I
but
really like I don't know. I liked like a dragon, the seventh one, but like I felt like I was good after that. Like I just think I don't know. I like the Judgment spinoffs. Like I think I just might be more into the spinoffs, but I think I'm good with the rest of them for a
You know what
while.
I am interested in though? That other game they just announced. That's
yep,
like that takes
Project
that.
Heaven
Yeah,
or
that
whatever
game
it's
looks pretty
called.
cool. Where it's like takes place over like different like time periods.
Yeah, it looks fun. I'll definitely be there for it. All
Would
right,
you feel
Parrot.
like
What?
would you feel like this game had any reason to exist? Like what's the like
The
why they
reason is because they wanted to make money off the
yeah,
Hawaii
okay.
assets from the last game
Fair
because they
enough. So
use
no
the
real
same
reason.
environment.
Love it. Capitalism.
Yep. All right, Parrot. What's your next game?
All right. The other game I decided to highlight cuz I played like a lot I definitely slowed down in the last month my gaming streak probably because I spent, 40 hours in Donkey Kong. But did a lot of replays, but the other game I played this month was Black Mesa. I don't know if either of you played that. That's the remake of Half-Life 1 on Steam.
I have not.
So I don't really have a ton to say about it. I played it because I bought a VR headset. Like probably like since the last time we recorded, I bought a Quest 3S or whatever they are, and I want to play Half Life Alex. Everybody says it's so good, but I'm like, I got to play the other games first. So I actually played Half Life 1 like way back in high school. I remember don't tell anybody, but I remember downloading it on my parents' computer off like LimeWire or something. I don't know if it was LimeWire or some sort of
LimeWire.
shady website. I probably broke my parents' computer and then I didn't know how I did it. But I do remember playing this back then, but it was pretty fresh. It has like the graphical enhancements are really, really nice. Like there was a lot of times where I thought the game looked really great, but it's definitely a bit dated. There's a lot of cool parts, but just like the FPS, like combat is fun, and it's kind of cool that you can just like interact with a lot of things in the environment, and then you end up solving puzzles with them. Like, oh, pick up this power cable and plug it in here to open the door or whatever. But it's definitely a bit dated, and there's times where you're just like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing, and it some of the levels just like drag on way too long. Where it's like, okay, I was kind of like enjoying the game quite a bit, but then like as it kept going, I'm like, okay, I think I'm good for this game to be over at this point. But I can see why Half Life is such a famous series, so I'm gonna go give two a try at some point. But yeah, it was fun, but it didn't blow me away or anything.
I've never played any of the Half Life games.
Me neither. And it's terrible to say, but I've never had any interest in playing any
See,
of
neither have
them.
I. Neither have I. I have like zero interest.
Even though everybody's like they're the greatest games ever made, I'm just like they just don't look that appealing to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I think that Half Life One is one of the greatest games I ever played, but so I can't speak on two yet. But we'll see.
Everyone says
That,
2 is like the magnum
Yeah.
opus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was at the time. I find it hard to believe that it will be now, but we'll see. Portal's better for sure. Have you
Nice.
at least played that?
Yeah, I played
No,
Portal
I've
1.
never played
Oh
Portal
wow.
either. No.
I played Portal 1 and 2.
Yeah, those are great. But I don't know. I'm not like the biggest Valve gaming fan, I guess, because I really like Portal 1 and 2. I think Half Life's okay so far. And I'll be honest, I was never that big into Left 4 Dead either. So
Mm.
I don't know.
Haven't played that one either.
All right, Sean, what's your next one?
All right, we got Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, a nice Souls-like game. It's funny. The only thing I really know about the plot of this game is that there's some mysterious illness going around, like ancient China, and people are just like dying, and you have amnesia, and you're just going around trying to figure out what's going on. That's literally all I know about the plot of the game. Other than that, I'm running around killing these crazy creatures and these insanely giant bosses. Very much a Souls-like game. If you like Souls combat, you will probably like this game. Now, I will say this: it is not as fine tuned as like a FromSoft game. So, like, if you're expecting to go in there and being it just like Dark Souls, it's not going to be like that. The controls are a little bit more clunky. But I am really enjoying my time. I was in the mood for a Souls-like game. I actually hadn't played one in a while, so I was kind of really in the mood for one. Um, it's fun. I kind of haven't played it in like 4 or 5 days because I was kind of really focused on finishing Suikoden 2 and 100% in Donkey Kong. But it's fun. The one thing I will say about it is, well, one more thing I will say about it is they are not generous with their bonfire equivalents. So, like, in Souls games that you rush to the
Mhm.
bonfires, they are not generous with this. They are very spread apart. Like, if you thought Dark Souls 3 kind of spread them apart, like really far, oh, you're in for a rude awakening with Wu Chang because they are not generous. Like, usually, how there's usually in Souls games is one like right outside the boss area.
Yep.
Yeah, not in this game. So if you die in the boss, you got to go through the gauntlet again.
Yeah, I'd probably quit.
Yep. No
And
thanks.
it's funny. Like, I'm such a story guy with my games, but when I play like FromSoft games or Souls like games in general, like I'm not there for the story. I'm just there for like the combat and like just hanging out, listening to the Mets game or have the Mets game on another TV, watching it while I'm playing the game. It's kind of like it's fun though. I am enjoying it. I will finish it. Probably not gonna get the platinum. It's not the hardest FromSoft game I've played, but it's not the easiest either.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
played
think I gotta
Lies of
stick with the
P
easiest.
just recently, and
I
I'm
see. I
like,
haven't played Lies of P, and I want to play it so bad. But I know that's the story of that game is going to grip me.
it's good. Yeah.
But you gave up on it because it was too hard.
No, I finished it.
Oh, you did finish it. I don't know why I thought
Yeah.
you didn't play it.
No,
You
No,
you
said that
waited
game
for the
made you
update, and then you
retire.
put it on journalism mode.
yeah. I retired from soft games is what I did when I finished it because I'm just like I can't do this anymore.
I still need to play Elden Ring.
Oh, that was see, I did love Elden Ring.
See,
I did not play that one either.
I've only played Dark Souls 1 through 3, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne. I've not for Souls like. That's really all I've played.
Elden
I
Ring
played
was
Demon
great.
Souls.
I love Demon Souls on PS5. It was great,
Yeah, except I cheated, so that's why I know I can't play the rest of the games. Whenever I would be
dude.
about to die, I would just turn my console off. I'm like, all right,
Oh my
nice.
gosh, you're that guy.
Yeah.
He's
Hey, you know
that
what?
guy.
They let you do it. They
They
didn't stop me,
do.
so I
I
did
think they
it.
patched it out. I think they patched that out.
Well,
Too
I got in
bad.
before they did.
Yeah. All right. Well, my last game is a set of games, and I have the physical copy here. Another Code
Ooh.
Recollection. Obviously, this is a Switch exclusive. Whoop! I almost ended the call by dropping it on my keyboard. But yeah, Parrot played this earlier and like hated it so much he burned down a house down the street. But
Not
then
That
quite,
why the
but I
fire?
mean,
Oh my gosh.
he started the Canadian fires. But yeah, he went back and did play it, and he did like it, I think, a bit then. So I'm like, I got this one. Obviously, friend of the show, Frog, really likes these games. And I remember Trace Memory coming out on DS, but I never wanted it or anything. And then the other one on Wii never came to the States, but I'm like, oh, I'll give it a shot. And I was surprised how much I did enjoy it. Like, it's nothing mind blowing. Like it's a very basic visual novel. I feel like it's a good starter one. Like I'm excited to like play through this again with Joanna because I feel like she'd like the story because it's like simple enough. The puzzles are fun and none of them are really that hard. The only one I really struggled with was in the second game where I had to use motion control or like and I was on handheld and I could not. You had to like put a marble in a hole and I could not. I almost quit the game. Like I can't do this. Like it just won't work until I finally got it. But yeah, they're simple, short games, and the stories are and characters are good. And like I said, it's nothing mind blowing, but they obviously they continue from each other. And I thought Ashley was a good character, and I liked exploring the mansion in the first game, and then you had like a park in the second game. So yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
do you? I played Trace Memory back on DS, and
Me
then what's funny
too.
about the original is that you actually had to do a bunch of stuff to get the true ending. It
Yeah,
wasn't
you
just automatic like it is in the new one. So like I remember beating Trace Memory and I did not get the true ending, and like the story of the ghost just never got resolved. I'm like, oh okay. And so
Same
I do
here.
like I like that they
Same here.
changed that in the sequel,
I
but
heard they
or the
took out a lot
remake.
of puzzles too, right? Like there's not as
Yeah.
many puzzles.
So I did play this. I only played the first one though in the remake, and then I had to go back to the library, so I just didn't play the second one. So I still have another one to go. I don't know if like you actually think that the second one is worth it.
I liked it. I think the first one might be better, but I did like the
Mm.
second one. too.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
If
I
you could
played
get
like
it
the
from
first
the
like hour of the
library
second one.
again.
Yeah, I played the first hour of the second one. I'm like, dude, this dad is just
Yeah, he's an
addicting. I mean,
idiot.
come on,
And
he's
that's when you started
horrible.
the fire.
Yeah, that's when I started the fire.
Yeah, no, I had the DS one. Actually, my sister did, and then she was like, "Oh, you should play this too." And I remember playing it. We would discuss it like all the time because we were like young and we were like trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, we didn't get the true ending either. Like neither of us did. So we had like we thought that was the real ending. We're like, oh, I
Yeah,
guess it just goes unsolved.
yeah, that's crazy. It's like, oh yeah, like pretty much the entire like interesting plot of the game. It's like, oh yeah, no, who knows
So
what
then
happened?
we were actually waiting. We're like, oh, I wonder if like they're gonna release another one, and that will be like cliffhanger ending. Nope.
I was they added, I guess, a bunch of origami like cranes that you or swans that you can find in the game, and I thought, because I had heard that there was like a true ending, so I made sure to find them all so I didn't miss out. But then I found out it didn't matter.
Yeah,
But anyway, all right, and then yeah, we all have one other little game we played this time, and that is we'll transition into our long talk, which was about DK Bonanza. Obviously, we were
yes,
all really looking forward to this since the Switch 2 event. And I figured, I know we already did kind of talk about our histories with Donkey Kong on our, did we do a top five? I think it was. It's
We
been
did
so
DK,
long.
so yeah, yeah.
But I thought we could briefly touch on our history with Donkey Kong quickly. So, Sean, if you want to start and just kind of say your
So
history with
I hate the
Kong.
Kong. No, I'm kidding. No, my history of Donkey Kong is my first game ever playing Donkey Kong was actually Tropical Freeze on Wii U, and I like really fell in love with it. It was weird because we had the country games as a kid. I just never played them. My dad loved them back on
Mhm.
SNES, but I don't know. We just weren't playing them. So I played Tropical Freeze first, and then after I played it, I went back and played the original country games, and then I actually played the Donkey Kong Land games on Game Boy, which are criminally underrated. Not just copy and paste of Donkey Kong Country, um, just really bad graphics. But then when you guys did your, I think it was it 2 years ago? You guys did your platforming, your 3D platformer
Oh,
monthly.
yeah. Yep.
That's the first time I played DK64, and I went in expecting to absolutely hate it because
Everybody hates on it.
everybody hates it. But I actually found it enjoyable. I liked all the different Kongs, and I liked the DK rap because I remember it from Smash Bros. Um, the only other time I tried to play DK64 is we borrowed it from a friend on N64, but we didn't have the expansion pack, and we went to go put it in. We're like,
Uh,
why isn't this working?
Yeah, you just don't get anything either. It's just like a blank screen.
Yep.
Like it doesn't.
But yeah, that's kind of my history of Donkey Kong. But I like Donkey Kong. It's fun. He's a cool character. I never
Hmm.
played the
Yeah,
DJ
me
games, though.
neither.
I mean the
yeah.
drumming
Jungle Beat.
games.
What about you, Parrot?
So those were actually my first ones. Jungle Beat was my first Donkey Kong game.
Ooh.
Which
And
fun
then
fact? Jungle Beat was made by the Mario Odyssey team. That was their first game.
whoa, I gotta go back. I never finished it. I remember as a kid, I thought it was so hard, and I can't imagine that's actually true. But yeah, so I had those, and then I would go to my friend's house to play Donkey Kong Country because he had a Super Nintendo. But I did end up playing the Donkey Kong Country trilogy on Game Boy Advance at some point because I did get those. And yeah, I think like those are kind of, and then like I played like Donkey Kong Country Returns like as it came out, and the Tropical Freeze as it came out. Like I did play that on Wii U, so I've kind
I
of been a Donkey Kong person for a lot of my life, but I didn't start with the good stuff. I started with the Jungle Beat.
I still have to go back and play the Donkey Kong Country Returns.
It's a good one.
It's good. Yeah, just
Yes.
play the remake of it, so you can play that,
Yeah,
I
I'll
was gonna
try
play
it.
the Switch version. No, I was actually gonna
yeah,
boot up the Wii and play the Wii version,
Well,
or the
there's some.
3DS one.
Yeah, I have all
or
three
the DS
versions.
one, or the regular DS one.
Yeah, so I obviously have loved Donkey Kong since Country back on SNES. I still remember going into some weird electronics store that just like a mom and pop shop and finding that and getting it. I had like a sore throat. I think I was sick, so my parents let me get a game and I just picked out that one. And I obviously loved it. And I got so good at it as a kid. I would like make my aunts and uncles watch me play through the game until I would die, and I'd usually make it to like the third or fourth world before I'd die for the first time. So, and then I don't remember getting Donkey. I did get Donkey Kong Country 2, but I don't remember how I got that one because Donkey Kong Country 3 I got for Christmas because my parents wrapped it in a pocket knife box for some reason to
Jesus.
hide it to trick me because they love to do that.
Oh yeah.
And because it was just the cartridge. I never got the box for it, but and then after that, yeah, I got Donkey Kong 64. I got Country on Game Boy Color, which was not the best version, but it worked. And then I got Country 2 on GBA. And yeah, then I didn't get any of the Jungle Climber games. Those just never really interested me. I skipped out the GameCube ones, and then yeah, I got Country Returns. My brother and I played through it full on Wii on our co-op together. He was Diddy, I was DK. It
Love
made it
that.
way harder to do that though because
Love
you
that.
don't have Diddy to hover for you. And yeah, then we got Tropical Freeze later, and then yeah, so I've gotten every pretty much main DK game other than the spin-off ones. But yeah, I've always loved DK, so I was very excited when they brought him back. I did play
Wait, you
Donkey
didn't
Kong Land as well, the first
you,
one.
you didn't get Mario vs Donkey Kong like
I
I did.
did. I did get the Game Boy Advance one.
You didn't get all the DSi ones
No,
though,
I didn't do that.
like me, because we all know. I forgot to mention Mario vs Donkey Kong. That was actually technically my first Donkey Kong game, even though it's more of a Mario game. But it kind of harpens back to the original Donkey Kong. So
Right. All right, so I think we should jump in to the story, just kind of run through the story and the characters a little bit. So they obviously showed off Pauline pretty close, or it was Odd Rock originally, which I don't know how you guys felt about it, but Odd Rock was like so barely in this game.
Yeah.
Actually, I should say I pretty much kept Odd Rock through the whole first world before I got like everything because how I played this game, I would try to do everything but the main objective and or in that map until moving on. But I will say at the beginning that kind of backfired on me because I didn't realize about sublayers, so I could not find like the last couple fossils. So I just kept trying to dig up treasure chests, and they would not give me any more
ooh,
fossil maps. I'm just like, I don't. So I'm just gonna have to progress, and I'm like, oh, I guess there was more down here. That's why it didn't do that. But yeah, so the story
Yeah.
is pretty simple. I think they do a good job of keeping you engaged. Like obviously, DK or the bananas get taken at the beginning, and then DK meets Odd Rock, and then you run into the Elder, or yeah, you run into the Elder, and then you sing and get your first power up, and then guess what? Odd Rock is Pauline as a teenager,
ooh,
and then they basically just go on a journey from there trying to stop the Void Company, featuring Void Kong, Poppy Kong, and Grumpy Kong. So yeah, I did like how they put a boss after each. They had sometimes multiple bosses and layers, but most of them were super easy, especially Grumpy Kong. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like if you powered up, I feel like you could beat Grumpy Kong in like in 1 minute, even on his hardest battle. But what
I
do you
would
guys
Yeah.
say
think of the story, like in general? I guess.
Well, I would say it was pretty good for a 3D platforming Nintendo game. I don't know how much into spoilers you want to go. So,
Oh yeah, I should say we probably will get into some spoilers because I really want to dive into especially some of the late game stuff and get into that. So I would say if you haven't played the game, yeah, you might want to come back because we're gonna eventually get into spoilers and go through
I
it. But
came.
it's a
Yeah,
long game, so
yeah. So I would say like story-wise, I think it's pretty good for what it is. I wish that Odd Rock was in it more. I'm going to be honest. I was pretty disappointed that Odd Rock was only there for like 4 hours. I was like, and I get why, but I was like, oh, I like this rock. It has a funny design. I wanted it to be around longer, but I think the new villains are cool. I really like Void Kong, especially.
yeah,
He was
Void
really
Kong's
funny.
great.
And then, of course, the ending was just like a true spectacle. I was like, that part was like really amazing story
Yeah,
wise with the
but
story like sections. But
I didn't expect Poppy to like quit the company though, and then like I like that whole section. And was it the disco layer? Actually, I need to get
yeah,
my layers out here because I know we're gonna rank those. But
ooh, yeah.
because she like quits after you beat her in the one layer, and then the groove layer is that one. But Grumpy doesn't really quit, I guess, until the very end. But I do like, because originally I didn't really like Void Kong was the star for sure, because I especially liked when you did kind of like the midpoint battle with him, and then he like took you back through the worlds and you had to fight him, and then you
Yeah, that's
come
cool.
back and go down to the resort layer, which is one of the best layers. But yeah, I thought they did a good job. I felt like, obviously we'll probably talk a lot about Mario Odyssey because that's who made the game, and it's compares a lot to it. But Mario Odyssey would make you just collect like certain amount of moons to progress, to the next world, where DK was more like do the story progression. Like I remember, especially in the forest layer and the ostriches, you had to like unpoison the lake by or shrink it down by killing those plants. So I thought that it was a lot more interesting compared to that than just you actually don't ever have to collect a single banana in this game if you don't want to. You're never required ever, which is interesting in a 3D platformer. But if you don't, you're gonna have a really hard time. But you don't have to.
Yeah, this game, like you guys said, it's definitely much more interested in its story than it's like collecting. Like you guys said, you can complete the game without collecting anything. I really enjoyed the Void Kong and the Void Kong Company. This is so funny. Void Kong reminded me of Frieza, like flying around in his little
Yeah,
ship.
that's true.
I was waiting for him to get like a big transformation and become this big, powerful, like kind of crazy villain. But then obviously we get the real big bad villain at the end there.
Oh yeah, that
Um,
was crazy. Yeah, did you
but
guys get spoiled by anything? Well, go
no,
ahead
I
and
didn't.
give
I
me
was
your
not spoiled by
thoughts.
anything.
No, me either.
I couldn't believe it when Wart showed up.
But yeah, Wart.
That was
I
so
know.
awesome.
Well, it's funny because I had a suspicion, and yeah, we're gonna reveal it now. Speaking of, I need to. So I have a little King K. Roll shirt here.
Ooh.
Oh,
Because he's one of my favorite Nintendo characters and villains, especially. So it's funny because even at the beginning, I had a suspicion that he might be in the game because obviously the villains that you fight are Kremlings, like you can tell, like at least from the main ones, like the skeleton. But I thought that he was going to be like a post game tease or something for the next game because like they go so long without teasing K. Roll. Like Nintendo's not good at hiding things either. They usually love to spoil everything like before the game comes out. So I
Mm.
was shocked when he like came and punched Void Kong. I thought he killed him, but they
Boom.
do say in the post game that he's still
of course not.
alive.
Yeah.
No one dies in a
I
Nintendo game.
I really did enjoy the story though. I thought it was so cool that every time you sleep, Pauline will like talk to you
Yeah, I
and like
tried
tell
to
you a
do
little
all
story, and
those.
then you could ignore her too if you want. You're like, nah, I'm sleeping. Sorry.
Yeah,
Um, the different layers were really cool too. I really liked how Cranky Kong appeared in every single
yeah, that was
layer,
good. It was
and he
like
had
the
like a little
Captain Toad
yeah,
or star of each
and
time. Yeah,
he had a little store for you, and I really was hoping because in the first time you talk to him, he makes a reference to Mario.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was hoping that each time he was going to talk more about Mario, and I was secretly wondering if Mario was going to be the big bad villain at the
that would
end.
have been funny.
Like I was kind of like when we got to New Donk City, I was kind of waiting for like a big bad Mario villain to come out of nowhere, which would have
We
been
we
crazy.
got to talk about that ending sequence though, because one of my favorite things, of course, in the Planet Core world, it's actually Kremlings, like the enemies. I was like
Oh,
almost tearing up because I'm just like they have the
the
noise back to like like when you kill
the,
one, because I
the
like
second when I was running around that world, I was like, Straw must be absolutely loving this. This is
oh
like
yeah.
straight out of Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, the amount of respect they showed for Rare, like with the fossils, the throwback levels, like obviously we had Bramble Scramble and the original
Hmm.
DK, so you could even climb up to his house and like in the original, and there was a banana up there. But yeah, I like they had the regular Kremling, I think the Crushes they might be called, or just Kremlings. Then they had the Zingers, which I thought that was I didn't
Ugh.
expect the Zingers, and Necky. They had Necky back too. And they had the clap traps, which because it's like some of the enemies were more obvious, like the Kremlings, like the main traditional Kremlings were obvious, but none of the other ones I suspected at all. Like I didn't think about them. The armadillos kind of were a little obvious too, but otherwise they did a great job of hiding them. But I always love it's like it's good and bad. Like I wish the Kremlings were more in it, like in more of the worlds, but it's also good that it's like the last world takes a long time. So it's good that you get to enjoy everything about them.
I I love the like I always am a sucker for a fake credit thing, and the way
Yeah,
they do it in this game is really good
yeah, because
because like
it's
all the
just
best
like
stuff happens after that.
yeah, the original game. Because yeah, I remember like yeah, I did the K roll fight and it's not too bad. Like I think I had which we were probably all pretty high leveled with hearts and how many
I
apple fruit
didn't I
came.
didn't level up my hearts once.
Oh, you
I
didn't? Oh, wow.
No, that's right. When I play when I play like Nintendo games like this, like when I play Zelda or anything, I refuse to level up my HP.
That's funny because yeah, K roll was definitely the boss that was the hardest one at the end. Like his first form's not too bad, but yeah, then you get the fake credits, which I because that's just like back to DK
The
three
end
one,
question mark. Yeah.
and then he flies up and you do like that cool sequence with the banana. You have to throw the banana chunks at him, and then yeah, then you get to New Donk City and you have that finale, which you get. If I don't know if you guys noticed all the different like Kong stuff in the city, like they have Lanky's has no style, has
Yeah,
no grace of
I saw that too.
fashion line, and Cranky's records. It's just so cool. Yeah, I was
The the only thing I thought was kind of weird that it was already called New Donk City. Like I thought the whole
right.
thing was gonna be when I emerged out of there before I knew it was New Donk City. I thought it was gonna be something else, and when that they were gonna allude to when Pauline becomes mayor and she renames the city after Donkey Kong.
That's what I thought too.
That's
But
what I was thinking. So it's kind of weird that his name is Donkey Kong and they name it New
New
Donk, and the
Donk,
name of the city is New Donk City.
and
But hey,
people are really upset about the timeline of like Mario and
oh my
DK because they're
god,
like, well, I mean, Nintendo has changed it a while back. I feel like Pauline is not like the original Pauline. It's like the lady they call her now. Like if you notice in Smash Ultimate and stuff, like it's not Pauline, and people are so mad because they're like, well, clearly Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 happened already because Dixie in the racing layer talks about how she helped her and Diddy help DK. So people were like, "Well, how old are they?" And it's just like, who cares? It's not like
It does
these.
not matter.
Like this
listen,
isn't.
we're not talking about Zelda here.
Yeah,
We don't
this
need
isn't
these
an RPG.
timelines.
This isn't Trails or Xenoblade. Like we don't. It's just it's fun. Who cares? Like and they did a good job of being like, this is why K Roll was gone all these games because like the retro games they never brought him back. So he's like, I was trapped down here for 26 years, or however long it was. But the final fight was tough. It's like an Elden Ring boss, like King K Roll, the king of rot. I'm just like, what is
Yeah.
this?
I was gonna say that is the only point in like difficulty spike is that K Rule fight, and I don't even think it's a difficulty spike. It's more that he's like a sponge for hits.
Oh yeah.
Like when you hit him, his health barely goes down to the point when I was just punching him. I had to like make sure the health was going down, and it wasn't like oh you had to throw just like chunks of like concrete at him.
Yeah, well, I did realize in that fight that even if you don't hit him at all, like it still gets to the point where you need to like hit the big ball at him to knock him down. So I just stopped even fighting him. Like I just like let it all. I just
Yeah.
dodge and dodge, and then he would throw the big ball, and you'd stun him, and then you could do the 1/3 health. Like you never even had to fight him before that.
That's great. During that fight, which I like basically stayed in elephant form the entire
Yeah,
time.
elephant. I would always switch back to the gorilla because I thought that would do more damage, like when I would run up and punch him. But yeah, elephant was definitely the most overpowered transformation. I feel like in the
It's
game,
my favorite one.
it's the best one.
And you know what's funny? It's my favorite one, but at first, when I first got it, I'm like, oh, this was gonna be terrible. I'm not gonna like it. It's gonna be so stupid. And then I ended up using it all the time, mainly because you can basically farm like
Oh
goals and
yeah,
anything with
it kind
that.
of breaks the game a little bit, which but it's funny because
Yeah,
you get it. Yeah, I had no idea. Obviously, they showed the gorilla transformation, zebra, and ostrich, but they didn't show the last two. See, my theory, it's funny because I did kind of think snake, but I also thought maybe we'd get like a Kremling, like crocodile one or something, like that we would be good in the water. But
here's a funny thing. I went into this game completely blind. I had no idea about these
Same.
oh yeah,
transformations.
I
I
didn't
didn't
know
I
either.
either. I
the
was
the
just
only
guessing.
thing I watched for this game was when they announced it, originally announced it, and I watched like the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds of the announcement and said, I'm sold.
Yeah.
So like I love that. I had no when they did the transformation, I was like, oh, I guess you're getting this like one big giant ape transformation, and then you get another one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Which it's funny. We can talk about the transformations more now. I loved how they pretty much harken back to the DK, they're the animal buddies. Like
I was literally
obviously
gonna say that.
Yeah.
the only one, like the zebra one really doesn't, because there was no zebra obviously in the country, but or really gorilla, but gorilla I just feel like it's like a buffed
Yeah,
up DK one
Gorilla's just
or
their Dragon Ball Z
chunky version.
reference.
But yeah, ostrich you
Just
obviously had espresso. Then you had Ellie for the elephant, and then you had was it Ripley for the snake? I don't remember
Snake,
what his
yeah.
name is, but
I to me the zebra kind of took place of the rhino.
that's true. The Ramby one, yeah, it is
Yeah.
yeah.
similar.
Now, did you guys like all the transformations? I'll say I genuinely did not like the zebra like almost at all, but the other
That's
four I used constantly.
yeah, zebra I use the least.
It's funny. I didn't like the snake at all.
Oh, I love the snake.
The snake just
I
lets you break like everything. You can just double jump, like charge, double jump, and then switch to the bird and
the
then fly.
ostrich, yeah.
The ostrich, like there's just like I feel like those two were like the most useful for like navigating, and then DK was good for breaking. Like monkey was good for breaking stuff,
Until you get
and
the
then
elephant, then I'm just gonna suck up
Yeah.
everything and get the
The
but
ostrich though, the ostrich can break so many puzzles by just
yeah,
flying around things.
yeah, and especially combined with the snake is just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well that's what
well,
I did.
I feel like the snake can break stuff too, because a lot of times I'd forget about the hypnosis until you do
Yeah,
the puzzles where you needed it. Because I'm like, why cannot get through this? I'm like, oh yeah, I can
I
slow down time.
when we were doing the challenge runs and after the post, like for the post game to get the true ending, which
Yeah,
is like funny. I like totally forgot about the glare until I did the snake one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never use this.
yeah, they don't. That's one that they definitely could have or done a little more around, because it like there's it only is in specific areas. But yeah, what do you guys think of the post game stuff? It's funny that you go back to Ingrid Isle, which is the first area, and then you have to pay all this gold to Grumpy to you have to do, which if you do the challenge or like the enemy, which I feel like the enemy gauntlet was the hardest thing in the game for
Oh,
me,
those are
because
easy.
well, like it's just because like I would mess up and not like I'd have to start over. The wall one threw me off for a bit until I unlocked the ability to turn everything to gold when you charge up your punch. So then I could just change it all to gold and then explode the walls. I struggled with that for some reason, but the boss gauntlet I had no problem with. And then obviously it's really cool if you pay the what is it, 200,000 gold or whatever to get the DK statue. That's really nice.
Yeah.
yeah, I liked the post game. Like it was like each world had like a couple, like one or two extra for the most part, and then I liked the bonus challenges for the transformations. Those were
Yeah,
fun.
that was nice.
Except once again, I did not like the zebra one.
I absolutely loved those challenge run courses, like doing one for each transformation. I thought it was super cool. I even liked, at the end when you go inside and we have to use all five basically.
Yep,
I thought it was super cool when you get to the minecart section and there's no
yep.
minecart and you have to manually
Yeah,
surf on the concrete. That was so cool. Did you guys get all the balloons too?
Yeah,
yeah,
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got
Um,
all the CDs. I don't know if
yeah.
you
Me
guys
too.
did that, but
so
Getting the
that's the only
CDs
thing
was
I haven't
easy.
gotten yet. The only thing
Like,
I haven't gotten yet is all the
well,
let's
CDs.
go.
you can get all the CDs in like 10 minutes. You just get
Yeah, if you
like
put the
put the
y-
dress on and then just do
yep,
that battle
yeah.
room. And
Yeah, because
you only do like the first 5 layers, and
do
then you just
those little
leave and
pig
do it again.
enemies that explode.
Yeah,
You can get like 10
Yeah.
CDs at a time from those.
yeah. And
See,
there's only
the big
110, so it does not very long.
yeah, I have like 80 something. The big thing for me was one thing I really wish I did was buying all the costumes when I was at each layer. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
do that. I just bought like
Oh,
things that I wanted. So
Oh
then I
man.
had to go back to each layer,
Gotta
and it's
remember.
so tedious to just you just like
Yeah.
mash A
That's
buttons.
like
Like,
if you
yes, I
want
want this. Yes,
to spend the banana chips. I wish you could be like, I want to buy 10 of them, rather than be like, do you want to spend blah, 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 blah. If you want to.
so I only bought the one that was required
Yeah,
per layer.
I
I didn't
bought
buy
some to
anything else.
to try to get my skill tree. Like I wanted to try to fill the skill tree completely,
I
or at
didn't
least
even think about it.
mostly. But
Literally didn't even think about doing that, and I
I
probably
was
should have.
I was gonna get 999 just to say I did it, but I was gonna need to like grind out like
yeah,
30,000 more
there's no
gold
point.
and like no, I'm not doing that. It doesn't get you anything.
Did you guys or I like the yeah, I tried to I would get all the fossils and spend them as soon as before I'd leave the area. That's
Wish I
how I
did
would
that.
do it.
Yeah, I would just
Really
kind of
wish I
like
did that.
I would wander around and try to get everything I possibly could before I'd go to the next layer. But like I would just like if I missed a couple things, I would just keep going until I got to the point where you were gonna dive to the next
Yep.
actual layer.
Yeah, I
So
did that same thing.
like
Yeah.
So like when I get to the final sub layer, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna make sure I get everything.
The only
But I
time
would
that
not leave until I got
backfired
to
on
100.
me though was the Radiance area, because then Pauline gets taken. So then of course I didn't get everything. So then I had to
Yep.
go back after I
That
got her back and get everything. So
that bothered me because like I did that
me
same
too.
thing, and I was literally missing one single fossil, and it was just bothering me. Like I know I missed one
I
fossil. I gotta
know.
go
I
back.
did the same
Sad,
thing.
sad. Yeah, I did the same exact thing. Yeah, I think the collection was like super fun. I didn't look anything up. I didn't look up one location of any bananas, so
And you
it kind
don't
of took me
have
a little bit
to.
longer. I kind of almost refused at first to buy the banana maps. Like, I'm not gonna buy any of these. I eventually succumbed when I got to like the third layer, and I'm like, all right, I think I'm gonna start
Yeah.
buying them. Especially when you get to some of the more like
Obtuse
complex
ones.
layers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because yeah, I think we should get into some of the. We can talk about our favorite bananas and fossils. First of all, the fossils were great because if you guys notice, like they did repeat a lot of them, but like they had the beavers like as some of the fossils. My favorite one, of course, was in the feast layer where they had chaos. Or no, was that which one had chaos? Like the robot from Donkey Kong
that was the
Country 3. Was
that
it?
pretty sure that was the feast
Yeah,
layer.
I think so too. Because that layer they also had the little TVs and the rubber
Yeah,
tires. But I loved how they harkened back to that because they had Wrinkly the Frog in some of them, and Engard was one. But yeah, the
Y-
fossils were great. I feel like because I know some people, I think like Addy said he only wanted to collect the bananas instead of not all. I'm like I think the fossils were
gotta get
actually
everything.
easier to collect than the bananas for me.
Gotta get
Yeah,
everything.
because you get like I wore the fossil tie like the whole game,
Well,
so
me
I
too.
was constantly getting fossil maps. Like
Oh, the
I never
treasure tie, yeah.
yeah, the treasure tie. Like I never for 1 second was like
Me
struggling to find a
neither.
fossil, especially once you got the elephant because it's just like you suck up a wall and all of a sudden, all right, well now I know where 10 fossils are now.
I really like the giant Grant, like the giant super rare fossils. Those are so cool. I liked the 8-bit DK one.
That's
That
what I
was
was gonna
super
say. That's
cool.
my favorite one.
Yeah. The overall, I love the idea of just there's so many. They didn't go overboard with these collectibles. One thing I'm going to say about the bananas too, this Mario Odyssey team totally learned from Odyssey, where the bananas were much more not challenging, but they made them much more worthwhile to
Yeah,
collect
better
than
thought
games. Like
out. Yeah.
yeah, they're not just sitting on a bench and oh, come over to the bench and sit down. You get a moon. Obviously, there's a couple bananas like that, but you usually always have to do something to get
Right.
them. They're not just handing them out like candy, which I really liked. I think they definitely learned from their
Odyssey.
time with
Yeah.
Odyssey, which is kind of this related to Donkey Kong, but not. I'm hoping for the next 3D Mario they go back to a more traditional 120 or 180 or whatever they want to do, rather than
Yeah.
the big 777.
Right.
Because I thought they were most of them were like a blast to get,
Oh
and some of
yeah.
them were complex. Some of the ones that I really like, the recurring ones, like I like the puzzle one where you had to like guide them back.
Me too.
Those were
I like
fun.
those. Yeah, the frac like the two it had the one piece and then the two
And the
pieces.
two
Yeah.
pieces, yeah.
And
The only ones
feeding
I
the
did
tree
not
is
like
just like
the feet.
Feeding the
DK64.
tree was
Yeah,
awful. Yeah.
but I didn't even mind feeding the tree. I did not like the hide and seek. I don't know for whatever reason. I'm always like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
my
that
god, I
one
gotta
was
find
kind of
these guys
tough.
again.
The
The
one
hide and seek I hated because I would like be running around and then you like see the icon disappear. Then you run back. Like,
yeah,
what am I missing here? Like a
Yeah,
couple times I had to reset the terrain because I'm like, did I like glitch it
I
out?
know.
I did encounter a bug with the feeding the tree one. I like destroyed so much terrain, the feeding tree did not respawn. And I was running around for probably 30 to 40 minutes looking for where this freaking tree was because I remember it because I fed it the first two times and I could not figure it out. And I'm like, where is it? And then I'm like, I'm just going to reset the terrain. I reset the terrain. It was like right in front of me.
Yeah, I would always feed it all three times each time. I There was only a couple times
yeah,
I think I always had enough gold, but yeah, I always my favorite part though, the bananas were the challenge rooms. The challenge rooms were so much
Mm,
fun. Like they did such a good
yes.
job, like creatively. Like they always had three bananas in each one. Like one of the early ones is like a wheel that's spinning around, and like one's in the middle, but you got to figure out how to get around. Then the other one's at the bottom, and then the other one you just have to collect the five balloons to get to it. But I never got tired of doing those, and it's like it harkened
Me
back
neither.
to the bonus rooms in Donkey Kong Country. Of course, I
Yeah.
love the throwback levels. I wish there were more of them. There's only four, but they're still all great. So
yeah. I really like the challenge rooms are probably some of my favorite parts because that was That was like the closest the game got to like a pure platformer, because obviously it's like
Yeah.
it's a 3D platformer for sure, but it's also like a beat 'em up and you're just like destroying things and not really necessarily about platforming. But a lot of times in those challenge rooms, it was more of that or the climbing or utilizing your transformations. And I
Yeah.
like to always how you had to like always be on the lookout to look and see if you can find the hidden banana, because there's always at least one in each one,
Right.
where it wasn't just like get to the end and you'll get them.
Did
And
you
I
I
guys?
was
really the radar is also something
I was
that
just
I
gonna
feel
say,
like
did
is
you
a good
guys
ingredient.
max out the radar and punch
Oh, that was the first.
immediately? Because
That
those
was
First,
were the
one
first
of the
ones
first
I
things I
did.
maxed out. Yep,
yep,
first
first
things
thing
I
I did.
maxed. One thing with the throwback levels, I loved how they had those 4 throwback levels. I was waiting for a throwback like rhythm level to throw back to the Donkey Kong
Yeah.
um, drumming games. I was really thinking we were gonna have like a rhythm one. One of my favorite challenge room ones was the ones where you release like you pull like the crane and the things fall. Then you have to like fill in the
Oh yeah,
baskets.
yeah. The
I
ice
really like
cream.
those because that was that was very much a puzzle based. It kind of reminded me. I know I'm a hater of this game. It reminded me of some of the shrines from Zelda,
Yeah,
where
it
you have to like
did.
do stuff. My favorite one though was one when you have to you release those things and you have to punch like the red or pinkish goo, and it makes the blue goo, and the blue goo makes the
Yeah,
Oh
pink
yeah,
goo,
yeah.
and you have to kind of create like an angle. I love those. Those were super fun. I loved how each challenge room had like a secret banana as well.
Yep.
yeah. I also like the ones where it's like you have to destroy the building in a certain amount of time. Those were fun too.
Ooh, those
That
were
that one gave
yeah.
me some trouble, the last one, because I'm like, I
Well,
could not get it
the
fast
last
enough.
one, the last one was hard until you realized that what you could do was you could just like jump up as the snake
Yep,
and
that's what I
jump
did.
over the start line, and you could just destroy all of it, and then you go back and walk through the start line, and
Oh,
it's like,
I
oh, you
didn't
did
do
I
it.
that.
I didn't know
Yeah,
you could do that.
Well,
yeah, you can.
I didn't cheat. I actually did do
Well,
it the right
cheat.
way,
There's
You
like
but
cheater.
the racing layer. I cheated, man. I cheated the whole time. All you do is you just go around the first bend and then you just cut across the gap
oh,
in the
I did
middle.
that at
You
the
just
end.
skip past the
I
course.
did that in the
Yeah,
post game race because yeah, the
yeah, me
racing
too.
layer was weird. Like I feel like that was kind of
I
like an
hated that one.
afterthought. Like I love Diddy and Dixie obviously in it, but I'm like there was so little to do in it, and then the racing just wasn't that fun. The
Yeah, I
Spoiler,
controls
agree.
that's
were
my
weird.
least favorite layer.
I
That's my
think
least
that's
favorite
mine
layer.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I never got like you said Mario Odyssey, which I'm gonna go back and play that again because I haven't played it since I originally played it in 2017. But I never got all the moons. I got to the post game, and did like the final challenge or whatever. But I never tried to get every moon. Where I felt
Oh, I
like
did.
in Bonanza, I'm like
I
I
did
wanted
too.
to get everything. Like it was just like it was
Yeah.
fun to get everything, and it like I even liked the little like triangle challenges that were really quick. Like you had to break the material in 30
Hmm.
seconds. Like those were even with the elephant would just like destroy everything easily. But all right, yeah. Let's see what was next. We talked about. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the music too. I also so which transformation music was your guys' favorite?
I think mine was the ostrich. Honestly, I liked all of them. Actually, I also
Interesting.
want to say that maybe my second favorite of the songs was the zebra, but I just didn't hear it that much because I didn't ever use the zebra.
The zebra was my favorite music transformation. I really loved it, and I would often catch myself just transforming into the zebra to just listen,
See, I
which I
would do that
loved.
with the snake. The snake was my favorite. The snake, and then I like the banana Kong, the gorilla one too. Those are my two favorite tracks. I didn't dislike any of them, but those were definitely my two favorite. I also did like the elephant made fun of you for being chubby. I thought that was funny, but
It's such a nice
Um,
touch to have each transformation to have its own song.
yeah, definitely. I like the whole idea of like Pauline performing and you getting the
hmm
transformation in front of like a crowd. It was awesome. That was super cool. I love the giant elders.
yeah,
That was
those
so
were
much
fun.
fun to find the little half or quartz of the CD and record and bring them back. Yeah, I thought they did a tremendous job with that and making them like worthwhile and actually utilizing them. Like none of them felt like, oh, we're just throwing this one away. One thing that I love, like a very subtle thing, is when you complete a layer and Pauline and Donkey Kong do the little dance
Oh yeah, that was
and
fun.
they
That was
jump up. Like
cute.
I love that. That to me, they're just the small things like that just brought a smile to my face, and it was awesome.
Yeah, like I loved Rare's DK design, but I mean, so when I first when I watched the Mario movie, I didn't love that design honestly, but definitely playing the game. I do like his design. Like I think it's great. I still like the
Didn't
rare
even
one, but
phase me.
yeah, I think it's fine. Some people
I was
still
in this.
hate it.
Yeah, I was in the same camp as you. Like I came in, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hate this design. I hate it. Literally, maybe an hour in, didn't even notice it anymore. It was a normal DK to me.
He's so expressive. Like he's just
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
very full of which they kind of made him more. They made him more Mario like. I feel like because he's like silent. He doesn't like he communicates with like
Hmm.
grunts. Yeah, and his only goal is to get bananas. They kind of keep him treat him like kind of a the strong dumb smile or silent type. But I was surprised that we didn't get more lyrical tracks in this game. Like we get Pauline's song in the end credits, but we didn't get too many. Obviously, we get Gangplank Galleon remix during the fake credits, which was like my favorite. That was I was going crazy for that. So, but at least they give you a way to. I love like the little hangouts that you could just listen to music and like you said earlier, Sean, just like you get to talk to Pauline and be like, how many zebras do we count to fall asleep? Or it's like we're up so high. What if we fall from this crane? And all, it was
I
kind of
also
it was weird that she was fully voiced and no other character was, but I did kind of like it, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I also like that like it gave you a reason to buy the hideouts because you could fast travel, but they also would give you like the bonus
Yeah,
hearts when you
bonus
slept,
hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was nice.
Let's see. So we can talk a little bit. So the bosses, I feel like, is kind of a disappointment for most people. I feel like they get better as the game goes on. Like the first boss, I was like, it wasn't like super hard, but it was fun. Was the freeze layer like with that the boss that you had like it would travel up the path and you had to turn into the zebra and chase after it. I thought that boss was good. The moth one was good too. I thought, or yeah, the giant. Like you had to fight him 3 times, which was kind of
Yeah, like the
annoying. But
bat or whatever it
or yeah,
was.
whatever that was. And I also like the sludge one was kind of difficult. I thought that one that was my hardest one in the boss re-challenge mode. All the
Me
Kongs were
too.
Void Kong's final fight was a little difficult, but Poppy Kong and Grumpy Kong were like the easiest bosses in the
Yeah.
game. I feel
It,
like
I think it's like
those were super easy.
it's also maybe partially that like at least Sean didn't upgrade his health, but it's like and you're upgrading. What I like about in this game is like the collectibles actually matter because they let you
yeah,
increase your
skill
skill
tree.
points.
Yeah,
And it's just like I was just like so strong at all times. Where it's like there's no way that they could possibly ever lose this fight. So
Yeah,
I
the
agree
only
that like
boss
in the
that I
boss rush,
kind of
the, the boss rush, the one thing the poison one
that
annoyed me.
one's
I'm like, oh my
tough.
god,
Yeah.
the only boss that I really not even struggled with, just I had like a more difficult time with was K. Rule. Only mainly because I had the 3 hearts, and then anytime you died, you had to like restart the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was
I
it.
died
But
once, I think, to him, but
I died like a couple times. But
yes,
overall, I didn't find the bosses to be like super intriguing, super like that. Not, I wouldn't even say it's a disappointment. I don't come into platforming games like this
right.
expecting like these
It's funny
amazing
because yeah,
bosses.
none of the bosses in Odyssey either. I'm never like, oh, this was amazing. And even going back to the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy, the bosses are usually the weakest part, other than the K. Rool fights, which I would say again was the highlight of this one.
And
So
going back to even like Tropical Freeze, I think the weakest part of that game is the bosses.
right. It's always the bosses. But like Parrot said too, I feel like some people were a little worried about the skill tree, like being in a 3D platformer because it's RPGing it up. But I feel like it did make this game better, which I don't know how a skill tree would work and like if they would do it for the next Mario because DK is
I don't
more
know if they
focused
could.
on punching. But I like that, like you said, it made the collectibles worth getting. Like the fossils you could get the colors which didn't matter, but you could get accessories that would help make the world easier, like take less poison, take less fire damage. But then the bananas obviously would power you up so you could get more health or max out your sonar, max out your punch strength. Like I watched somebody play the game, basically mainline it in 16 hours. I'm like, he's like, well, I didn't like it as much as Mario Odyssey. It's like, yeah, because you didn't play it right. Like, why are you
He
like he
didn't do
didn't
anything.
he just like went from main story to main story, and it's like it's not it doesn't even look as fun because you're not really taking advantage of what the game is giving you.
It's a platformer.
I know.
You're supposed to like engage with
Yeah, but you know how
some of the
people are.
collectibles.
People want to just get to the ending so they can see it. It's like, okay. Which it is. I gotta say, the length of the game, which it took me 42 hours to 100% it. Do you guys have your hour counts? Do you
Yeah,
remember? Or
mine was 37 for 100%.
37.
44.
Okay. Yeah, which again, it's good that you don't have to use a guide in this game because the game kind of gives you guides if you need it. Like you can find the maps or you can buy the maps. So I feel like the layer that I struggled the most, which was early on, was the canyon layer, which was the third one. Because that one was a hard one because which I didn't love it either because it's more segmented. Like I love the worlds that are all interconnected, where that one you had to like
Mm,
find certain paths to it. I probably would like it more on a replay because I understand more what's happening. But I didn't even understand at first those like fractones that you talked to that you had to like that they had the hat on. You had to pay them for gold, like to unlock
yeah.
things because that's
Oh,
obviously a
yeah.
key point.
Um, the landfill layer I didn't really like either.
Yeah, that
That was
one
like
was
one of the
rough
ones I didn't
too.
like because like you're constantly digging and digging and digging, and then like if you fell down or like you missed something, it's like oh I gotta go back
I
up.
that layer I could not find. I knew there were three fossils stuck together. They were in a pipe, but I just dug the whole way down
Oh
around
my
the
gosh,
pipe
that freaking
trying to
pipe.
find the fossils. And here you just had to go to the village and there was a barrel that shot you up the
Yep,
pipe. I was so annoyed.
that
I'm just
freaking
like,
pipe.
ugh.
I like spent so much time digging around it, trying like there's got to be like
Yep,
a small opening
I
somewhere.
know. Ugh.
Yeah, I just paid to get the barrel to go in.
Well,
I was just
I
like, oh,
paid. I did. I
there's got to be a
unlocked
way
it.
later.
I unlocked it, but I would always do that, and then I would never use the barrel because it would usually just be a shortcut back, and I don't want to go back. So I unlocked it, and then I forgot about it, and then didn't realize that that's the only way you could get it. Like you could not dig around the pipe and get it. But anyway, all right. Why don't we get into our rankings for the layers because I feel like that'll kind of guide us near the end here before we get to our closing thoughts. But I guess we want to just go one by one and go through our layers, or how do we want to do this?
Or we could just like say our few favorite ones. I did not
I'd
rank
say
all
like
17
why
or
don't we just do like our
16.
top
All
three
right.
layers.
Well, for me, Planet Core was number one for obvious reasons because of the Kremlings mainly, which is kind of cheating. But the Feast layer was my next one. Freezer layer was next, which I know you don't like that one, Sean, but I love Snow Worlds. And then Resort
Good word.
layer was my next, and Radiance was so that's my top five.
All right.
And my least five were Racing, Junction, The Divide, and Hilltop. Which I mean, I didn't dislike the smaller layers, but they just weren't as good, obviously. So.
I would say no particular order. I really liked the feast layer also because I like
Mhm.
how it was like an amusement park. I just
It
thought that
made
was
me
just like
hungry too.
a great theming. And one thing I'll say is also I like how like a lot of these worlds had their own kind of gimmicks. I thought that was really neat. Like how like the feast layer, for example, you have to throw the sand to melt
Yeah, that was a
things.
big
Like
part of it.
I really like the feast layer, the radiance layer. I really liked,
Mhm.
and then of course the resort layer. I think like everybody liked that one. Then I really liked the freezer layer also. And then I honestly really liked Lagoon, like the very first real level. I thought that was a lot of fun. And then
That is my second favorite one.
Oh, nice.
I think that honestly I didn't dislike any of them, but I honestly wanted to shout out the groove layer because I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was
was just
just
gonna
so
say that.
interesting. It was interesting that like basically like you get all these power ups and it's like all right, well now that you can't use them and you got to like do a whole level without having your power ups. And I
That
just thought
real
it was interesting how like it completely like flips the game on its head, like
Yeah,
trying to find all the bananas.
that layer really focused on like switching between the bouncy material and the gold too. Like, cause you can't damage the bouncy stuff. So
Yeah, it has like the switches where you punch them to
yeah,
swap what the material is. And I thought it was cool to have a level like they give you this elephant and they give you this snake, they give you all these things to break the game. It's like, okay, now here's a level where you cannot break the game at all and you have to actually
I
do it
know,
like
and it's
the
hard
way we want
without
you to do it.
Pauline. Like they took away your
Yeah.
superpower.
So yeah, I honestly did like all the levels, but those are the ones that jump out at me.
Did you guys get stuck in Radiance Layer 2 at the beginning? Because I could not figure out how to like go down. Because you have to push the enemies into like the sunlight so that you can damage them.
Right, yeah.
Which I figured out, the game shows you that. But there was one enemy where I didn't realize you could pull him in, and then it just randomly he went in the sunlight, and I got the key. I was trying to like climb all over and do all this stuff, but
What was your list, Sean?
So my number one was the Forest Layer. Absolutely adored
That's
the
a
Forest.
good
I
one.
love forest themed levels. It also harpened back. I'm gonna do a little throwback here to the Soda Jungle in Super Mario Bros. U. Brought me back to that, and we know how much I love New Super Mario Bros. U. And I just really like the overall like just design of it. I love the whole giant hotel, the annex, the
Yeah, that was
pool, the
cool.
garden, the ostrich transformation was super cool. I actually went there before I went to the freezer one. So
Me too.
I went to Freezer first.
yeah. So I don't know. I really loved it. I fell in love with that one. That one was super cool. The poison didn't bother me. I actually liked kind of maneuvering around it.
The
And I know
seeds
that
were really
kind of
cool on that one too. Like, you throw
the
the seeds to
seeds,
make the bridges.
which I loved how they brought that back when you do like the final
Oh
challenge.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
because you have to throw it against the enemy. That was a really cool one. I accidentally had like damaged the enemy though, so I kind of he like respawned. I'm like, phew, because I'm like, I don't know how I can get him to go again.
um, Other ones I really like the resort layer, super like chill. I love the giant watermelon. That was super cool. Reminded me of Mario Sunshine, just like hanging out.
Yeah.
I like the groove layer was awesome too. That was so cool. I was like struggling at first because like again you don't have Pauline, and I'm like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, what am I gonna do? And then obviously you go back there and you're fine. The feast layer super cool. I love the whole amusement park thing. I'm a big amusement park guy. The food was really cool. They did a really good job designing each individual thing. They almost made it look like it was like I almost thought it was like cheese that you had to like throw like like the goop that was. I'm like, oh, is that
Yeah.
cheese?
Part of
I like
it
the
is
whole
cheese.
fryer.
But yeah, it's not. I
I
think
don't really know.
the solid parts are cheese. The one that the zebra runs over, I think that's like cheese bridge. It's called, but
Yeah. I like the whole idea of like you're going through like a fryer and like you like jump like the
yeah,
fries are being fried. That was super cool. Use the salt to melt the slime. Um, that was a really good one. Lagoon Layer I really liked. I love the whole idea. It reminded me again of like a almost like a Mario Sunshine world. It was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
water and I thought it was super cool how there were certain aspects of the second sub layer you couldn't get to, and
Mm-hmm.
without well, there's certain aspects of like the first sub layer you couldn't get to without first going to the second sub layer, which I thought that was a really interesting design, really cool, and that kind of at first I was confused, but then I kind of figured it out. And shout out to the Forbidden Lair. I thought it was super cool
I
with
was
the
gonna say that
giant
too.
King, yeah, the
Yeah.
giant King K. Rule statue. Um, Overall, amazing, just
I
amazing.
like the I like the forbidden layer because that's the one where you have to like throw the you like open up like the zones and you can throw the
Oh, and you
items and it
throw
makes
it, yeah.
bridges.
And you have to
Yeah, that
pay
So
was
those
I
awesome.
guys.
so at
Yeah,
first
I like how meme they are there.
I bypassed the 999 one, like the last one you had to do by using the snake and the ostrich, and I bypassed
Oh,
it,
it's
and
funny.
I got every banana except for I could not get the Cranky Kong one without doing it, so I had
Oh
to
yeah.
eventually buy
Yeah,
it.
because
But I spent a good 10-15 minutes trying to get to Cranky Kong without it.
he's really high up there. I
Yeah,
remember him.
I tried. I failed, but I did it.
Yeah, I like those bodyguards who are like, you're not supposed to be here unless you pay me
Yeah.
this much.
Some pretty cool like side bananas in that one too. Like if you go like beneath and like there's like a climbing one where you have to like time when you're climbing with a moving platform. But overall, game was awesome. Layers were really cool. The only layer I really didn't like was the racing layer. Like that's the only one I
Yeah.
actively disliked.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I mean, I listed like some of like the junction and the divide, but those just weren't really layers. They weren't like
Yeah, they're just like
the canyon
setup
layer was probably
layers.
my least favorite like main layer just because like I said like it was harder to get places. I did like how like cuz you had to like find these secret pipes to get certain bananas, which was cool, but I was still early in the game so I didn't really understand everything yet. But even then I still liked it. Like I didn't dislike it, but
Yeah, there's none I actively disliked. The like transition layers are kind of just like whatever, like you
yeah.
said, the divide, the junction. But I even liked the racing one enough. It wasn't the most fun, but I didn't dislike it.
I liked it cuz Diddy and Dixie were there and I love
Yeah,
them,
I
but
hated it because Diddy and Dixie were there. I'm
what?
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was waiting for
Thankfully Kitty
Chunky
wasn't
Kong.
there. So,
I was waiting for
I
Chunky
wish
Kong.
Kitty was there.
yeah.
Whoa, pause.
So what do you guys want from the next DK now? Do you want them? Because I would actually be surprised because the Odyssey team loves to jump around. So I don't know if we're gonna get another like DK style game like this. They either might do something completely different or they might go back to Mario. But what do you
I
guys?
want a Wario game. I want a Wario game like this.
Wario, where he just eats all the environment and farts it
Or he just
out.
goes. He's looking for gold. I mean, that harpens back to Mario Land.
That's true.
From the next Donkey Kong though, um, to be honest, I want a new 2D side scroll. Like I want a new like sequel to Tropical Freeze,
I
something in that
I
akin.
wanted to close the trilogy out. Like I wanted Retro to do the third game with the Kremlings. I would have been satisfied. But we got the Kremlings back, so I'm happy now. But
I like I said, I want a 2D Donkey Kong, but I want like this style Donkey Kong, the way he acts in this game, the way I would like that.
Yeah, I think that's what I would want next too. Just a 2D one, but I don't really know that I want it to be another retro one. I want it to be like like this. Maybe you give him a couple extra moves to simulate this. I mean, maybe he can punch through walls in 2D. Who knows? But I want like a fresh take on 2D Donkey Kong.
so my next dream one would like my next because I got my dream 3D Donkey Kong now. I feel like this is probably my favorite. I think this might have passed Banjo Kazooie for me because before Banjo Kazooie and Mario 64 were like my two favorite 3D platformers, and this is up there with them because I just adored this game. But my next like dream for this series would be we get a combined Mario Odyssey DK Bonanza, like you play as both of them and you like go back and forth, then they like meet up. I don't know if it would ever happen, but like you combine the gameplay styles of Mario Odyssey and DK Bonanza. I think it'd be so cool because they obviously melded the universe now. Like this obviously happens before Mario comes to New Donk City and Odyssey. So now we need a sequel after Odyssey and include DK. Do it, Nintendo, do it.
I either want a 2D game, like I said, and then maybe we can get back some of the other Kong family members. I would love to see them again. Or I want a 3D game that's like an adaptation, a 3D video game adaptation of the Donkey Kong movie that's going to come out. That's what I would think we
We
need.
might
Seth
get it.
Rogen voicing.
Oh no! What? Come on! Why?
What?
That's what we need. That's what we need, doesn't it?
No,
Yeah,
we
yeah, that's
don't.
just what we need. Yeah,
You,
just like we need a 3D Waluigi game.
Well, we don't not need
you
that.
you had me until
New
you had
Super.
said Seth Rogen Donkey Kong. Why would I want that in my video
I don't
game?
want a movie tie-in game for a Nintendo game.
It's going to happen.
But I still
Yeah.
say that King K. Rool is Nintendo's best villain. Like he needs to always be
Wart.
back. No, so King K. Rool is Nintendo's best. Well, it's funny because Rare actually created him, but I feel like he's my favorite Nintendo villain. So he needs to be more. I hope he's more involved. Now give King K. Rool his own game. He's just way
Give
more
him
like
a
threatening than even Bowser is. Like he tried to
let's get
eat and kill everyone.
instead of the next Mario and Luigi game, let's get a Bowser and King K. Rool RPG turn-based combat.
I'll take it. That'd be great.
Can King Dedede be in it?
Yeah, put him in too. The three kings right there.
They're all here.
All right. Well,
King
I
of
think we'll wrap up our DK conversation here. Is there anything else you guys want to add? Like I said, I would be shocked if this isn't my goatee, but it's one of my favorite games of all time. I do have a Donkey Kong bias, but man, I love this game.
No, nothing to add. It
No,
definitely is
nothing to
my
add.
game of the year for sure. Not even close.
We'll see what my game of the year is at the
We'll
end of the
see if
year. We'll
Sky's
see.
first chapter remake, but I would be shocked if it passes
You'll
it.
see. You'll see.
All right, well, I think we'll just close with what we're going to play next. So now that we played Donkey Kong, we'll have to move on, sadly. For me, I'm going to finally play Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first game when I get back from my vacation, even though I've been threatening to play it since January this year. There's no reason I shouldn't now unless something distracts me, but... And then I'm going to play Rune Factory. I know, Sean, you love that one, so I'm excited to play that. I'm also going to play Madden, which Sean is trying to
Oh my
not get me to
god.
play. But I used to love Madden. I used to get it every single year. I was one
Yeah,
of
so did we
those.
all. We all did.
I know,
We
but
learned. Then we learned.
I'm a nostalgia person, so now I gotta try it again. I'm like I miss playing it, kind of. So it'll probably be
Well,
one and done. I mean, if I only
well,
buy Madden every 10 years, that's not that bad.
I guess you're just dying to play as Aaron Rodgers on
I
the
guess
Steelers.
so.
That's what
Yeah,
you
really.
Aaron Rodgers.
And then other than that, I'm going to be playing some smaller stuff. I'm killing myself with these NES games. I've played like so many in the
I'm
past
happy.
couple
Can't
days.
wait.
So there's a couple good ones. There is so many bad ones. Like I cannot wait to be done with NES. But I also started is it Misk a Tiny Tale? Parrot also has played that. We'll talk about that more next month. But it's a Chibi Robo adjacent type game. And then I'm going on vacation, so I'm taking my Steam Deck and I'm loading it up with two very parrot type games, Katamari Reroll, which I've never played a Katamari game,
Yes,
and
nice.
then also Cavern of Dreams, which is a 3D platformer. So I'm really going hardcore parrot core with these. So
I love it. I love to see it.
but yeah, that's it for me.
For me, I've been playing Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix on the 3DS, the last of the 4 Rhythm Heaven games, and getting ready for that new Switch 2 one. I've been playing, like I said, the fan remake of Metroid 2, and then I decided now that I've played the Fire Emblem English games, I'm playing the fan translations of some of the ones that have not come to the United
Oof.
States. So I'm playing Fire Emblem New Mystery of the Emblem, which is the DS remake of the third game. It's fine so far. I don't It's better than Shadow Dragon,
Well, that
but
doesn't take much, but yeah,
it's not
Parrot's going
exactly
more.
amazing.
He's going more hardcore Fire Emblem than me. The only I played the Roy game, that one, but that's the only
Roy.
fan translation one I
Yeah,
played.
I have that one ready to go after this one. I think I might just do those two, but we'll see. And then just wherever the winds take me. I don't know. Got some Gerby DLC coming out this month, but we'll see. And then of course Golden Sun 2 is another big one.
There you go. What about you, Sean?
There's a very special indie game that's coming out on the 21st called Discounty, and I am really looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to it since it was
I
announced,
don't even think I
so I'm going
heard
to
of
be
it. I
playing
gotta
that.
look it up here.
Yeah, me and Parrot were talking. I told Parrot about it yesterday. It looks really fun. I am going to be playing Mario the Mario and Rabbids Battle Kingdom. I never played it. I've owned
Ooh,
it since it came
Nice.
out, but I've never played it, so I'm gonna give that a shot. And there is a game that I will be playing within the next couple weeks that I'm not allowed to talk about right now because it's under embargo.
oh,
Whoa, fancy.
So yeah, I will. Yeah, it should be the embargo should be lifted by the time we start our next episode. But it might be a game that Straw likes.
I know it's probably. I was like, when's Sky first chapter coming out? Like September something, but that's exciting. I looked up that game you mentioned. It does look cool. The Discounty.
Yeah, I'm like really, really excited for it. And then I am playing. So I started up Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, just to play it for the 40th
30th
anniversary.
anniversary.
Yeah, 30th, not 40th. Wow. And I'm gonna probably run through that, do a 100% run. Love that game.
Parrot still spited me on by not
It
making it S,
didn't even let us rank it. Didn't even let us rank it.
dropping it to A tier because of how Baby Mario sounds. Like I said, just
It's a
don't
great
get
game.
hit.
It's a great
Mute the
game. And
TV. Mute the TV.
just get rid of the baby crying.
You
Get rid
just
of the
don't
baby
get
crying.
hit. It's that easy.
It's the most annoying baby of all time.
Well, Mario Kart or
Oh,
Yoshi's
I can
Island
show you some
DS is
annoying
worse.
babies.
Well, that's true. That's true. I kind
I
of
can't wait
regret
for the
that.
Yoshi. I cannot wait for our Yoshi episode.
Yoshi's Island DS Peach crying is one of the worst things I've ever heard.
Yoshi episode's
Yeah.
kind of pointless because we already know that Yoshi Topsy Turvy is going to be number one.
Ugh.
False. That is super false.
Alrighty, well, I think we can wrap it up here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our combo episode. We're not going to do this too often, but since I'm going to be gone, and I really wanted to talk about DK mainly only, so that's why we did it this way. But I think that'll do it for us. So until next time, everyone, sayonara.
Bye.
Bye.